You have entered the realm of the truth. Mickey the truth. If you tell it, know what it is. If you clean, then clear your name. Whichever way it go, it'll definitely be the truth.
Yeah, they be like, who is this Mickey Truth girl? Who qualifies her to put a work on these people?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. Y'all, when I heard the news today, I got highly upset. I'm not even gonna tell no story, but y'all know I will go on a ramble, and I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, it's coming when alive. Okay. However, I do want to shed some light on some things. Okay, starting with Free Melly. At this point, they trying to railroad him by any which way coming, and that's not cool at all. Okay. So first things first, you may be wondering, Mickey, what world are you talking about? Well, I'm about to tell you what I'm talking about, okay? If you haven't heard, Melly has been charged with tampering with a witness, okay? And what the F, okay? And in so many words, I per se didn't say that, but I said this. Now, how he tampered with a witness and been on phone visit letter restriction for over 2 years. For those who don't recall, I know for a shit show he's been on restriction because I have written him a letter before I found out he could only get postcards, and they got sent back unopened. Truth matters, and at this point, the prosecutor ain't being truthful at all. I don't even know what they got going on, but it's a bunch of. I wonder, are they related to Fulton County at this point? Because they must be cousins or something, first cousins, because something ain't right. Some sideways stuff going on. But I'm going to break it down. Back on September 7th, 2022, motion to remove visitation, communication, or interaction restriction. This here is their request, the defense request, to have the court grant the motion to remove these restrictions. And I want y'all to keep in mind to a couple things. Starting at number one. Defendant is pretrial confinement pending trial at the Broward County Main Jail. So again, pending. So remember, what's the logo or what's the slogan? Innocent until proven guilty, right? Well, let's go to number two. On or around late March 2022, another inmate filed a grievance alleging that Mr. Demons was in possession of shanks and pipe bombs. Grievance. We've been hearing that a lot. 1090 Jake said filing a grievance is to talk about the prison people. Filing a grievance has nothing to do with telling on an inmate. It has no reflection to nothing. That's what 1090 Jake said, right? And that everybody who said he was telling was delusional, in so many words, right? Well, let's see what happens to Melly after a grievance was filed, okay? In response, correction personnel conducted a search of the entire dorm, at which time Mr. Demons was found with one rotting utensil and potato chips. Number three. However, another inmate on the dorm was found in possession of shanks, prescription drugs, and other contraband. 4. Despite Mr. Demons not having any relationship with this inmate, Mr. Demons and his attorney have been restricted from having customary visits due to the discovery of contraband in the possession of the third-party inmate. It goes on to say, over 5 months has passed, which is more than enough time for the facility housing Mr. Demons to make a determination regarding the allegations set forth in the grievance. So again, YNW Melly had a grievance filed on him, a grievance, not a witness statement, a grievance per this document, right? Which in return had him for 5 months already not able to even meet with his attorneys because of a grievance that led to somebody getting found with something, but not Melly. But guess what? Because he was named on the grievance, it cost him hell in prison or jail, you know. Currently, any visitation between Mr. Demons and his defense counsel must occur in the visitation booth located downstairs in the bond room. So again, from this grievance, YNW Melly can't even actually have privacy with his lawyer. The visitation booth does not accommodate Mr. Demons and the defense team in one sitting. Moreover, it is impossible to review any documentation with Mr. Demons due to the plexiglass divider. Not only is the visitation room not large enough to accommodate defendant's attorneys, anyone standing outside of the room can hear everything that is said in a room, violating defendant's right to privacy and privileged communication. As of August 31st, 2022, the undersigned was advised that Mr. Demons cannot call one of his attorneys due to the grievance mentioned herein. So again, a grievance is preventing Melly from being able to see his attorneys, from being able to call his attorneys. So if he can't call and see his attorneys, can he call and see anybody else? I don't know. Let's keep going. Florida statute 901.24 states that a person arrested shall be allowed to consult with any attorney entitled to practice in this state, alone and in private at the place of custody, as often and for such period of time as reasonable. 11, and this is important. The ongoing denial of Mr. Demons access to his attorneys is not only preventing Mr. Demons' attorneys from properly preparing Mr. Demons' defense, but it is in violation not only of his constitutional rights, but Florida law as well. And they go on to say again, they request the restrictions to be lifted. But I want to summarize this. A grievance written by another inmate, snitching, okay? The inmate snitched on the grievance. However, they had the wrong inmate that they snitched on, but nevertheless, a name was provided on a grievance. And in return, Melly wasn't found with nothing. But since March of 2022, look what has happened. With that being said, this is all stemming from a grievance filed by an inmate in jail. Now, I don't know if you haven't caught on to what happened based off this grievance, but I'll tell you. The court held the restrictions. So that means no visitation, no communication, no nothing for YNW Melly based off of this grievance. Do y'all recall Melly's mom posting them standing outside of the jail holding up posters saying Merry Christmas to him? Because again, he is not allowed to have visits. You know why? Because of a grievance. So for those who have been so hooked on saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, well, you tell me, how in the world is it possible to say writing an agreement is not snitching if in return in the YNW Melly situation, a grievance was written and he is still suffering now because of it? And for those who don't recall, this was just posted August 27th of this year by YNW Melly's mom that says, Jamel still does not have phone or visitation. If you would like to write him, here is the information, and he can only receive postcards. No letters with envelopes. They will return your letter. Thank you for the prayers and support. Again, I personally knew that because I did it. So, 1090 definitely said free Melly. So how can he say a grievance doesn't have no negative impact on the inmate when clearly someone that he has agreed should be free is still suffering now because of it? This is directly from his mom. He still has no phone or visitation. or regular mail. He can only get postcards. So I'm going to say again, writing a grievance, providing an inmate's name is snitching. And you know why it's snitching? Because it causes problems for that inmate. For example, the YNW Melly situation. I'm pretty sure if you ask YNW Melly if a grievance is snitching, he'll definitely have a different response than a lot of people. You know why? Because he has been on the end of that grievance and felt the pressure and the pain that it's caused him. Now, that leads me to my original question. How can YNW Melly be charged with witness tampering if he can't even talk to his lawyer, let alone a witness? Now, some may say, well, he could have had a phone. Well, he didn't have a phone when they went and searched his room. He had a pencil or a writing utensil, not sure if it was a pencil, and a bag of chips. And because of a grievance, it's nothing he can do. Now, I want to point out too, for those who may need a little bit more clarification, they have on this document all of the phone records where you can see every time Melly and basically other inmates made a phone call. If you read through these, you will see the last time he was able to make a phone call, which was at the beginning of 2022. We are almost to 2024. So because of that grievance, that might be the nail to the prosecution. You know why? Because now, although he has been having pain and suffering since the inmate wrote the grievance on him, how did he contact a witness? How could he contact anybody that they're alleging was tampering with the witness? He has been literally locked up since 2019, literally on all restrictions, including his lawyers, since 2022, the beginning, March 2022. How is it? How is Broward County State Attorney's Office coming up with this? Who signed off on the warrant to have this done? And I will say this, it's mighty strange that Melly has a case open for the witness tampering. However, Bortland case is still not showing open. But obviously he has a warrant. So I want to ask 1090 Jake and everybody who's on the side that grievance doesn't have negative impacts on inmates, what do you say about Melly, who is fighting for his life, who may or may not be innocent or guilty? However, our land of the free, right, says innocent until proven guilty. So as of right now, he is innocent in the eyes of the law, but he can't even use the phone, send out mail, receive mail, or have visits, even with his lawyer, which is, by the paperwork, says his constitutional right and by Florida law, because an inmate wrote a grievance and mentioned his name. Now, again, I stand on facts. I'm the voice of truth, and I'm the queen of paperwork. I have showed the paperwork where it outlines why YNW Melly couldn't have witnessed tampering with anybody, especially not in a time frame that they're alleging Portland of doing, because shout out to the inmate who wrote the grievance, he was on restriction. So y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. You rappers ain't safe.